Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that is literally one of nature's most visually stunning yet entirely deceptive creations. We're going to explore a life cycle that perfectly balances breathtaking beauty with, well, absolute ruthlessness. Get ready to uncover a quiet, glittering predator that's hiding right in plain sight. Okay, let's dive into this. When you see these tiny, perfectly clear droplets sparkling at the tips of delicate red tendrils, what's the very first thing that comes to mind? I mean, it evokes the peacefulness of an early morning walk, right? It looks exactly like harmless, refreshing morning dew catching the first rays of the sun. But as you'll see, nature is an absolute master of disguise.
It's this brilliant paradox. On one hand, we have the illusion of beautiful, innocent morning dew. But on the other hand, the reality is a powerful, sticky glue. For literally millions of years, this plant has been quietly and effectively trapping prey using nothing but this gorgeous visual trick. You know, it doesn't hunt, it doesn't chase, it simply sparkles and waits.
So let's ground the science for a second and define exactly what we're dealing with here. This is Drosera capensis, or as it's more commonly known, the Cape sundew. It's a truly formidable carnivorous plant, which means it actually supplements its diet by trapping and digesting insects. It pulls this off using a rosette of specialized leaves, and each one is covered in fine tentacles tipped with those glistening droplets we just talked about. And honestly, the most surprising part? Despite its exotic and frankly deadly nature, this is a plant that can grow quite happily just sitting right there on a sunny windowsill.
Stage 1. Seed to seedling.
To really understand this plant, we need to look at how it develops. Just picture a tiny, almost microscopic seed resting on some dark, mossy soil inside the humid, controlled environment of a terrarium. As the quote notes, this tiny rosette hasn't quite learned to sparkle yet, but it will very soon become one of nature's most beautiful traps. At this early stage, a small, pale green rosette of leaves continuously emerges and unfurls. The environment is so moist you can almost feel the fine, misty condensation building on the glass. The soft, diffused light from above casts a really gentle glow on these vulnerable new leaves. Right now, it looks entirely defenseless.
Moving on to Stage 2, developing the deadly dew. But that defenseless appearance definitely doesn't last long. In accelerated motion, we see the plant completely transform. It starts with that tiny seed, moving right into the pale green rosette. But then, watch the change. The leaves grow longer, stretching out, and they start continuously developing these fine, vibrant red tentacles all along their surface. And then, finally, the magic and the danger happens. Those glistening droplets begin to form.
Now, what's really interesting to see here is the incredible sensory detail of this final development stage. The sticky droplets gradually appear at the very tip of each and every red tentacle. They grow larger, and as they do, they catch the warm natural light, acting exactly like tiny beads of illuminated glass. The plant is literally building its signature weapon out of something that looks like pure, sparkling light.
So the crucial point is this. Right behind that shimmering beauty lies a pretty brutal reality. Every single one of these sparkling drops is a sticky trap, strong enough to hold an insect in place for hours. That dew isn't water at all. It's a highly complex biological adhesive.
Stage 3. Trapping in action.
This brings us to the inevitable climax of the sundew's development, the inescapable mechanics of the trap itself. Step 1. A small fly, maybe drawn in by the light reflecting off the droplets or a faint scent, lands right on the leaf. Instantly, it gets stuck fast in the adhesive. It's a sudden halt. Then, Step 2 is where the plant's active carnivorous nature truly reveals itself. Triggered by the struggling prey, that entire red, tentacled leaf slowly and continuously begins to curl inward, wrapping itself completely around the trapped insect. And finally, Step 3, digestion begins, which is a process that'll take several hours as the plant absorbs all the nutrients it needs.
The finality of this process is absolute. Once it lands, there is literally no escape. I think the most striking thing about this phase is the visual contrast. Even as the leaf slowly closes around its prey, becoming this organic prison, those sticky droplets are still glinting beautifully under the warm light against a really soft green background. The trap remains totally gorgeous, even while it's actively digesting a meal.
Let's move to Stage 4 and see how this builds into a surprisingly delicate bloom.
This leads into the final and maybe the most surprising chapter of the sundew's life. Because just when you think you have this plant all figured out as a silent predator, it completely changes the narrative.
A thin flower stalk continuously rises straight up from the center of that glistening, deadly red rosette. And all along the stalk, small, incredibly delicate pink flowers begin to bloom open, one after another. During the golden hour of the afternoon, the warm light just glows straight through their translucent petals. A light breeze gently moves the stalk, while down below, the deadly dew droplets just keep sparkling away. It is a scene of utter, serene beauty. 8. The source material that documented this incredible life cycle managed to capture all of these profound changes in a stunning, cinematic time-lapse that lasts exactly 8 seconds. Just 8 seconds for us to witness a complete cycle of growth, trapping, and incredible beauty.
It brilliantly illustrates the profound duality of nature. Just think about it. A plant that ruthlessly traps and digests insects can still produce something this incredibly delicate. It forces us to reconcile two totally different concepts: a super-efficient carnivorous trap on one hand, and the soft, gentle beauty of a translucent pink flower catching the afternoon breeze on the other. They aren't mutually exclusive at all. They are just two sides of the exact same organism.
Which leaves us with this final question to ponder. If a plant that digests insects can produce such delicate beauty, what other deceptive wonders is nature hiding right in front of our eyes? The world is full of things that are absolutely not what they seem at first glance. Keep your eyes open, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.